right now, John, sits at 37%. That is a low mark in this term for Donald Trump. His disapproval is at 63%. That's a high mark for his entire time as president, first and second term combined. I will say Democrats and independents fleeing him, of course. Republicans still with him, which is why we'll see him doing these tele-rallies tonight for the Republican candidates for governor. Take a look over the course of this year. You'll see down here, mid-February, late February, he was at 47-48% approval. That was a honeymoon period after the election. He's now been steadily going down all year long. Why? One of the reasons why, it seems, is that the American people think he's gone too far when using presidential power. 61% say so, way up from February. And deporting undocumented immigrants, 57% of Americans in this poll, John, say that he has gone too far in doing that. And in fact, he said just the opposite on 60 Minutes last night.
How the hell is this guy's approval rating above 0 at this point? I do not know, bro.
Because he's still got some cultist dangling on his asshole like dingleberry.
Jesus Christ, bro. All right. Anyway, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the VOR podcast. We got a great show lined up for you tonight. Got some great news. Finally, we got some wins. Democrats are coming out on top in local elections and mayoral and governor elections, and it is causing quite the meltdown within the MAGA sphere, especially in the Trump administration, because people like Mamdani are crushing it. Yeah, and hopefully causes. I'm hoping that this local election, like this off-year election, really kind of sets the tone for when it comes to our national elections, like our midterm elections and stuff like that, because it is quite obvious.
It's going to show a trend.
I think so too. I think it's quite obvious that everybody thinks Donald Trump is a raging moron. Most of his own supporters have even abandoned ship. I don't think he has nearly the support that even we think he does. I know he doesn't have the support that he thinks he does. But hopefully this is some kind of shift away from these capitalist corporate politicians into something new, something maybe like we talked about before, maybe a little bit of democratic socialism, which might be the way to go, because obviously democratic capitalism fucking sucks. And it's just something that we just can't fix. We need a whole new system, because obviously the one we have is pretty damn broken. I just read today, I don't know if you read this, Mike, but apparently, a shock to nobody probably, the $350 million that Trump has gotten donated to his ballroom were from companies that have been given massive amounts of government contracts. So apparently $279 billion in contracts were given out. And Donald Trump is getting kickbacks.
He's quid pro quoing the White House.
It is honestly a pay-for-play scheme
with government
right now.
subsidies.
Yeah, government contracts, pardons, everything is up for sale right now.
How about that crypto guy that he pardoned, and then in the 60 Minutes interview, he was like, I don't even know who you're talking about.
Yeah, me and James just talked about it yesterday, because remember when they wanted to investigate the Biden administration because they claimed Joe Biden had no clue who he was pardoning, and then Donald Trump turns around in a fucking interview and is like, I don't know who the guy is. Like, bro, how is this reality? But anyway, we're going to talk a lot about the New York mayor's race, because that is the one that has captivated the entire country, I think.
Well, I think there's a bunch of races, high-profile ones that have a lot of impact, but none as much as the New York City mayor race because of who's in it and the story and drama behind who's backing who, basically.
Right, because other than Mamdani, there are some pretty interesting characters involved in this race. Cuomo being one of them, who's basically
touchy-feely dead Grandma Cuomo.
Yeah, he's a Democrat Republican. He's a MAGA Democrat. I don't know if that's the thing. He is the one.
Yeah, you're right. Holy shit.
Yeah, he is a MAGA Democrat. And
he's
then
a MAGA independent.
Right, and then there's this guy named Curtis Sliwa.
Kurt.
Jesus. We've talked about him before.
not I know I'm old, okay? Like if you're in your 20s, you don't know who Curtis Sliwa is, but I do remember portions of the 80s, and I remember Curtis Sliwa, and I remember my parents talking about him and always telling me this guy was a lunatic, Robin Hood types. Like he's not in a good way. He's just a guy that thought he could go around and citizens arrest everyone. And to be fair, he did start his little thing when New York City was fairly lawless. So I'll give him that. But he's turned into a nut job over the years.
He really has. He runs around. We've talked about him before. He runs around in a red beret everywhere he goes. This dude is so weird. But no, look, it looks like Mamdani locked it up.
I mean, the polls just closed, so
he's got 50. He's got more than enough to win.
There's no way
Mamdani is going to be the new mayor.
Yep.
Of New York City. That's fucking outstanding, bro. This could be the best news we've had in a really, really long time because it is showing a definite shift in public interest as when it comes to who they want running their country and running their policies and stuff like that. Because Donald Trump, the one thing he's done out in the open, and I think they really shouldn't have, was just be corrupt. He has shown how absolutely corrupt and just willing to take money for anything these people
Here's the thing. He is presidenting the way he did everything else in his life. He openly crimed. He's never been good at criming. He's been good at outspending litigation.
That's what he does.
That's it. Okay, so him doing what he's doing out in the open is a byproduct of his brains running out of his ass because they're just melting away. But also, he is a lifelong criminal, a lifelong crook. He's just a thug, wannabe mob boss. And he's running the presidency just like that.
Yep, unfortunately. So, but he's having a major meltdown to the point where he's even talking about cutting off New York City's federal funding.
Listen to this. New York City hits now, okay, there's a lot of people that live in the city. Yeah. I don't think that haven't gotten this many votes since 1969. They have hit almost 2 million votes.
Holy shit.
No, they've hit 2 million votes. That's the highest turnout since 1969.
That's amazing. Well, people see what's happening.
Everything yet.
Yeah, people see what's happening.
I don't think people are ready for what's coming because any good news that we have, and let me tell you, everyone, we have some good news tonight. We really do.
Yeah.
But this good news is going to be met with a fierce pushback, okay? And it's going to be met with a pushback that is so Trumpian, so obvious. I think it's going to be the last straw, and people are going to start calling for him to be removed from office. Because what we have here tonight, and I want to talk about some of, even though the races are over, I want to spend some time talking about the racism involved in the Mamdani stuff. But what you're going to see is history being made tonight. We have so far 2 women governors were named. Okay, Virginia just elected a Democrat, the first woman governor in its history. New Jersey, I don't know if it was officially called yet, but it is very likely that it is going to go to Mikey. I forget her last name, Mikey Sherrill.
Yep.
Who is a woman. Okay, New Jersey's had women governors before, but it's still a big monumental deal when there aren't many of them. And if New York City elects Zoran Mamdani, the ripple effect that will have, not just because of the demographics that we are now seeing emerge in the Democratic Party, women, people of color, people of different faiths, but we're going to see a major metropolitan city on the planet, the center of capitalism, elect a Democratic Socialist.
Nice.
That is
I love it.
Going to send ripples through, because that's going to give more of the Democratic Socialist candidates out there, or the people that didn't dream they could be candidates. It's going to give them the incentive they need to maybe actually think about running.
Yeah, I agree, because this obviously is a popular platform, the one Zoran Mamdani ran on. I mean, he ran for fair cost, for better rent prices, higher minimum wages, lower insurance costs, like normal things that we should already have all these things. We say it all the time. There's enough money in America to have universal health care right now. We shouldn't even be arguing about it. The only reason we don't have universal health care in this country is because rich people do not want to kick in more money. They want to keep more money. And they
Yeah.
want to continue to screw us over in the
They
process.
want to keep what they have, take more, and then blame you for not achieving any success in life.
Right. I'll give you an example of how Donald Trump is running the country. Right now, he is holding SNAP benefits hostage. So tens of millions of Americans could go without food money until the government reopens. Now,
Against the court order.
Right. He's defying a court order. And a lot of us are starting to think that $6 billion contingency fund is gone.
It's gone because of Doge. Who knows what they did with all that money?
Right. I mean, somebody had to pay for,
Can
know,
you
Donald
imagine
Trump's
the size
and
scope of the scandal? If someone tries to say, if they're like, okay, you have to release this money, and they're like, we can't. It's
right. Well, right now, Donald Trump's lawyers are having a hard time coming up with an excuse on why they should defy court orders. But this is what Donald Trump is saying right now. SNAP benefits, which increased by billions and billions of dollars, many-fold during crooked Joe Biden's disastrous term in office, which is a lie, due to the fact that they were haphazardly handed out to anyone for the asking, as opposed to just those who need it. That is also a lie. They don't just hand out SNAP benefits. You actually have to apply. You have to a lot of times meet with a caseworker, provide proof of income, and if you make too much money, you don't get shit. But all right, so moving on. So he will only give it up if the radical left Democrats open up the government, which is pretty amazing considering Republicans control all three goddamn branches of it.
Also, the threshold to destroy a filibuster is 51. Okay?
God,
Guess
man.
how many people the Republicans have in the Senate? 53. They could break any filibuster they want. There is no risk of filibuster on the Democrat side. The Republicans aren't. So there's literally no excuse. And
None.
What's happening is, while these people are still at home collecting their salary and Donald Trump is having Gatsby-themed Halloween parties, and they're putting in $350 million ballrooms and new bathrooms and planning to build an arch in the middle of D.C., while everyone's starving, their SNAP benefits are gone. Okay, grocery prices are out of fucking control.
Yeah.
And if they start seeing who's winning these elections, that's going to be the catalyst. Yep. That's what I think.
I feel like this is going to be Republicans' excuse to finally just do away with elections altogether. One way, shape, or form, whether it's declare or invoke the Insurrection Act or War Powers Act. There are many ways where Donald Trump could stay in office, and one of them is a hostile takeover, which is what a lot of people feel like he's doing now with his Gestapo running the streets of the country.
You know what I've seen people talk about? That's an interesting thing that I didn't kind of put together. This is going to be like one of those things where it's like a meta consciousness thing.
Yeah.
We spent so much time with the distraction of the Epstein files because we kept saying everything was a distraction from the Epstein files that I think what we're seeing now, and this isn't my original thought, I don't remember who put this thought in my head, but I can't take full credit for it. What if the government shutdown is the coup?
I saw somebody make a video about that today, and that's exactly, yep, you're right. I was actually going to say that.
Right now, the government is off. Someone flipped the switch. Mike Johnson is flipping the switch and sitting on it. Yep. Right now, the government is not in session. There is no one, other than the bureaucrats, but no one's getting paid. So eventually, people are going to stop showing up to a job they're not getting paid to do. The government is turned off right now. So if you want a coup, technically, Donald Trump achieved the coup because there is no functioning government right now. And everything's just going by his whim and his cabinet people.
Right, there's quite literally zero oversight on Donald Trump right now. Not that there was to begin with. Whatever oversight was just there for show. But
hey, Curtis Lee was at like 8% so far. Yeah, buddy.
God, what a waste of space, that guy. Anyway, let's talk about real quick. I want to see more politicians do stuff like this. So this is J.B. Pritzker, because again, we are sick of the decorum and the professionalism. You know what I mean? Fighting by the rules is great and all if you have the opposing party doing the same thing. But when you have the Republicans rewriting the rules as they go, you got to take the damn gloves off. So
we need to embrace righteous rage. We
I
have
agree.
a right
I
to be
agree.
pissed.
Yes, that is a good way to put it.
And our politicians have a right to be pissed on our behalf.
I totally agree. So JB Pritzker doing a bang up job, and he is a billionaire. So apparently there are some billionaires that actually give a shit out there. And he, I think, is a good example of one of them. So yeah, let's just watch this real quick.
Let's talk about what we're up against in 2025. President Trump and his bootlickers have torn down the U.S. Department of Education from the inside. Instead of helping to improve math and reading scores like you all are doing and supporting our educators, they're making it harder for students to get ahead. Books are being banned. History is being erased. Republicans want to take billions away from public schools and pump it into private institutions. They want to punish teachers for telling the truth. They want to criminalize educators for supporting LGBTQ students. They want to turn classrooms into cultural war battlegrounds. And I'm sorry to be vulgar, but Donald Trump and his cronies can fuck all the way off.
Thank you.
You know what the beauty of that is?
Thank you.
I know this is just my interpretation of it, but if that was a performative fuck you, he would have smiled.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even fucking crack a smile.
No.
he
was like, y'all can fuck all the way off. He said that with his whole chest. I love it. But that's what we need more of. People that just do not, you can't show fear, because that's the whole point of these people. Like, if they smell fear, they use that and they leverage that against you. And a lot of these politicians, especially on the Democratic side, I feel like they're just hanging on and not rocking the boat enough to just keep their jobs. You know what I mean? They're voting just enough to tell their constituents, see, I voted against Trump and his regime and blah, blah, blah. While at the same time just continuing to take AIPAC money. Yep. Which is another reason that they are so afraid of Mamdani. He's Muslim.
Ooh, boogity boogity.
Right, because the right is desperately trying to paint, because Israel does this. They try to paint all is people of the Muslim faith as Islamic terrorists. That's how literally Netanyahu portrays Muslims, as they're all radical Islamic terrorists.
A lot of Republicans do the same thing. A lot of MAGA.
Well, yeah, they absolutely do. So they are terrified. They're saying stuff like, "Oh, he's going to bring Sharia law to New York and shit." Like you said, the racism is absolutely off the charts.
Let's take a look at that a little bit. I mean, we have a little while before they call the race.
Yeah,
but the New York mayoral race is between three people. Technically, the current mayor is there, but he hasn't been campaigning. He knows no one likes him. All right. Zohran Mamdani, a Muslim. He wasn't born here. He can never be president, but he is captivating the party. And not forget that. He's not captivating the party. He's captivating Americans.
I didn't know he wasn't born here.
Yeah, he was not born here.
I didn't know that. Not that it matters. That's a good thing.
No, it's just interesting. So what we're seeing here is the standard attacks on a Muslim by Americans. Now, being in New York, it does have somewhat of a different flavor, and the reason is because New Yorkers have fetishized 9/11.
Right.
I can say this because I live in New York. I'm from New York. I, as much as want to punch New York in the dick sometimes, I do love this state.
But nice.
But
I like it.
We have fetishized 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
And in some ways, we should enshrine the memory of it, similarly to, when Pearl Harbor was attacked.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we've used it as a way to perpetuate Islamophobia. It's fitting that Dick Cheney died today, because Dick Cheney is responsible for a wave of Islamophobia that could have been stopped by him and his president but instead they decided to go to war in Iraq on false pretenses. Point being, they could have led us to a point where we didn't just assume all Muslims were evil terrorists.
Right.
But instead, we went to war in a land we had no reason to be in. And since then, New Yorkers especially have pretty much not been big fans of Muslims.
Right.
That's just
and
the way it
who
is.
gave us that WMD information? Like the whole reason we went to war with Iraq the second time was because supposedly they had weapons of mass destruction. That's the term we kept hearing.
Yep,
WMDs. Chemical weapons. Well, turns out that was all bullshit, and it turns out that we also got that information from Israel because Israel wanted regime change in Iraq. It's like, fuck. I'm so tired of them. Oh, anyway, I just looked it up. He was born in Uganda.
Yep.
I did not know that. That's actually
so you
pretty
know
cool.
that naturally means he's evil.
Well, yeah. Oh my goodness, the boogeyman.
But I want to actually show, because like we always like to do on this show, we have our opinions, but when we can, we back them up with fact to prove our point. So you're going to see a whole bunch of different things that show you the types of attacks. They're not attacking him as a political candidate. They're attacking him as a stereotype.
Right.
So here's one of them. This is from the New York Post. Nearly 500,000 New Yorkers ready to flee New York City if Mamdani becomes mayor, possibly igniting mass exodus. That's not real. What kind of poll is that? Did they poll 20 people that were from uptown Manhattan? Like, no.
That is the most random poll. Yeah.
Here's one from a Donald Trump Facebook group that I troll. 3 examples of why naturalized citizens shouldn't be allowed to run for office.
Good
now,
Lord.
Our founders decided that you have to be born here to run for president, but there's a reason that immigrants are allowed to run for office, because in the United States of America, the way it is intended to be, once you become a citizen, you enjoy all the rights and privileges that are afforded to American citizens, including the privilege of running for office to represent your community.
Right.
So in saying that people not born here shouldn't be allowed to run for office, they're saying that unless you are born within the confines of the U.S., it doesn't matter. Your opinions don't matter. You have no say in your life. It's basically saying we don't want immigrants, because if you're not going to be able to represent yourself, why would you ever come to this place?
Right. Exactly. Well, it's funny you said about the racism, because there was a post. I just pulled it up. There's a post that I saw earlier just to give you an idea of the Islamophobia and the racism coming from the right-hand side. Here, let me pull this up real quick. So, yeah, this is when you vote tomorrow, remember 9/11. You were just saying about 9/11.
Yep.
So this guy basically saying that Mamdani's a terrorist. And
Mamdani was a literal child when 9/11 pretty much happened.
He's going to somehow be responsible for 9/11 or another 9/11 attack. Whatever. These people are psychotic.
What does that mean? It means that every Muslim now carries the sin of those who attacked us. That's what they're saying. And that's what they believe, because they're assholes. Now, what else is there? Well, here's one of my favorites. This is one from everyone's favorite wimpy Texan. I don't know why this isn't. There it is. Ted Cruz posted this. This seems like an easy one. New York City, a Democrat or an actual communist jihadist. So now, if you're confused, this is where the juicy bits come in. Mamdani won a primary to be the Democratic nominee for mayor, beating out Andrew Cuomo, the former Democratic governor of New York.
Right.
Okay. So Cuomo couldn't run as a Democrat, so he is running as an independent. Now, why is that? Okay, that's weird, but now why is Ted Cruz basically codedly telling you to vote for a Democrat and Andrew Cuomo? Well, because Andrew Cuomo is endorsed by Donald Trump, Elon Musk, all the other billionaires. He's a MAGA Democrat. Jeremy, I think you said that.
Yeah,
earlier. He's a MAGA Democrat.
That should be an actual term, I think. Like John Fetterman, MAGA Democrat.
Now, you have a video about that or something like that? With Andrew Cuomo?
Of Cuomo?
For some reason, I thought you did, yeah.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Okay, here's one where he calls into a podcast and they press him on being Donald Trump's guy, Donald Trump's candidate. Donald Trump endorsed Cuomo. Even Elon Musk, here, I'll show you. Elon Musk endorsed Cuomo. Right here is a tweet from Elon Musk says, remember to vote tomorrow in New York. Bear in mind that a vote for Curtis is really a vote for Mamdani. Very mature. Vote Cuomo. So you got a Nazi, actual Nazi, Elon Musk supporting Cuomo. You got Donald Trump supporting Cuomo. You're a Republican. You're right wing Republican. But anyway, here he is calling into a podcast or doing an interview on a podcast where he ends up just hanging up. Like how thin
he literally went.
He ran, yeah, right. Like you should hear the little feet noises, the cartoon feet noises.
Boy was just on 60 Minutes, Cuomo, saying that you're his guy.
No. First of all,
Trump said you're his candidate. If he had to pick a bad Democrat or what did he say? Or a communist. Or a communist, he's picking you.
Hello?
I think that they cut him off. I think he had to rap.
Yeah, he had to rap.
He hung up on you.
He hung up on you, man. It's so sad. But this guy has the charisma of just a special sock. He really does.
And the point is that Andrew Cuomo represents the classic bullshit centrist Democrat that really is just the same side of the coin as the centrist Republicans back when those existed. Okay,
Right.
It was just a wrapper on the same shitty candy.
Yep.
But
Yep.
the Republicans, and especially Donald Trump, they don't want Mamdani to win because it means something.
Mm-hmm.
And what it really means is that their brand of hatred, that I'm about to show you a very specific post, their brand of hatred that they've relied upon to bring Donald Trump into the spotlight, to bring him into the White House, might not be working anymore because a lot of people are getting sick of it. Look at this post. Every time a Muslim stands up in Congress and tells us they will change the Constitution, impeach our president, or vote for socialism, remember, you said you would never forget. They said they would destroy us from within. And it's another picture of fucking 9/11 because they don't have anything but hate and racism and bigotry and Islamophobia in them. They don't have an argument. They don't present anything. In contrast, they offer nothing to the American people but hate and bigotry.
No, you know what's funny? It's actually not the Muslims that said they were going to destroy America from within. It was Russia.
That was Russia.
And also the Zionists over in Israel. That was actually their plan, to overthrow our government from within. Dude, Eric Adams got 0.3%. Isn't he the current fucking mayor?
He is the current mayor, yeah.
The current mayor is so unpopular. He got 0.3%, bro.
Well, I'll let you know why in a second. So here's
less than
Sheldon.
Sliwa. Sliwa got 8%, and then Adams got
you say that.
0.3. That's fucking hilarious.
So Sheldon said, why wouldn't Trump endorse Sliwa? Why ain't anyone asking that? Because Don is a con. Think about that. Sliwa's the Republican.
Yeah.
But it's because Cuomo is bought and paid for by the billionaires. And if you are bought and paid for by the billionaires or AIPAC, you are owned by Donald Trump. That is why Donald Trump backed Cuomo. That's
why. I know why. It's because they offered Sliwa money to drop out of the race, and he
offered him
it.
$10 million.
They offered him money, and he wouldn't do it. That's why they're not behind him.
So it proves yet again, Donald Trump was never about a party. We have plenty of footage of him talking about in the 80s and 90s. If he ever ran, he'd run as a Democrat or he'd run as a Republican. I vote Democrat. Donald Trump isn't someone who gives a shit about political ideology. Political ideology. He cares about how much money he has and what power he can wield. That's it. So he knows he can't get to Mamdani.
That's crazy. So even because New York City, if I'm not mistaken, has the largest Jewish population in the United States.
Yep.
And they are voting for a Muslim.
Well, do you have the post? I should have put that up. Do I have it? Did I put it up where he talks about how Trump says, if you're a Jew who votes for Mamdani, you're stupid. He actually said like those words.
Jesus Christ. I'm not surprised. Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. But it just goes to show you that people want real change to the point where we're veering into something that we never thought we'd see in America, and that is democratic socialism. Capitalism is shown to just be a giant leech sucking the lifeblood out of average everyday Americans. We have a handful of billionaires. Quite literally, they make their living off of us because we consume the products that they make,
and we provide the labor.
Right, we are the reason they are rich. We, the people of this country, are the reason billionaires exist.
Look, it's very simple. If you go to a stupid, toothless MAGA idiot and you go, hey, do you believe that if you worked 40 hours a week, you should be able to feed your family and you should be able to have a say in your employment? No one should be able to fire you because they want more money. No one should be able to say you're not worth it anymore. But if you put your hard work in, you deserve to get something for that. Every one of them would say yes. And then you say, they go, see, that's how capitalism works. No, look at yourself. Look at what the situation is in.
We have so many people in this country are brainwashed to think that they could also be billionaires, even though most of the billionaires that exist around this entire world started off as multi-millionaires. There are very few billionaires that I can name off the top of my head that started off with nothing.
Taylor Swift,
Dr. Dre, what I mean? Eminem,
exactly.
Like people like that in the entertainment industry have come from nothing and quite literally built billion-dollar empire. Jay-Z.
Those are the only people that have earned the money they have.
Right, but like people like Donald Trump, who started his career with $400 million. He should be a trillionaire. Right now, Donald Trump should be a trillionaire based on the amount of money he started with 40 years ago. But he's so bad at business that he's just a billionaire. And not even a multi-billionaire. He's just like a single-digit billionaire.
Yeah, he's just a
billionaire loser. Right? You don't have 500 billion like Elon Musk. You just have like 8 billion.
All right, loser. so it looks like they called the New Jersey race. New Jersey's woman Democrat won, and it looks like NBC News projects Mamdani to win.
Yep. Right now he's 50.2% to 41.5%.
I have 49.6 to 41.6.
Okay, so it fluctuated a little bit.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Nice. Sliwa still at 7.some%.
Come on, buddy.
Eric Adams holding strong at fucking 0.3. Dude, he got 4,300 votes in a city of millions. That's humiliating. I would never show my face again, dude. I never would, man.
He put money in and bought every one of those votes. That's a manageable number of votes to pay for.
Do you know how much ass licking the guy had to do to not go to jail? Like, the Trump administration put him on a leash, saying we'll drop the charges or we'll stop investigating if you do what we say. You know what I mean? But apparently, like, it just goes to show you, like, Trump thinks his endorsement means everything, but now it's showing to be toxic for most candidates, unless they're in a deep red state. But even in some deep red states, local elections are flipping. House seats are flipping. They're terrified. Like you said, this could be the coup right now, because if they swear in one more Democrat into Congress, we get to see the Epstein files finally. So it's hard to say.
They're using that as look at this. We're trying to protect the Epstein list, when really they now have the government shut down. And instead of firing everyone, they could just say, well, we couldn't pay them, so they all left. It's all about perception and getting people to believe what they're told. And the problem is I still don't know how many people are willing to just shake off the stupid and look at what's happening in front of them instead of what they're being told.
I know, right? You quite literally cannot trust anything that comes out of this administration right now. You have to question everything. You have to fact check. You really do. So, all right, let's start talking about Mamdani a little bit. Let me go. I think I have a tweet. This is where Donald Trump's freaking out because his polls are absolutely in the shitter.
Yeah.
And I just love the last line. He says, fake news will never change. They are evil and corrupt. But as I look around my beautiful surroundings, I say to myself, oh, look, I'm sitting in the Oval Office.
Oh, look.
You weirdo, man. All right, so anyway,
Oh,
this
look.
is such a psycho just rage posting like a pissed off teenager.
God. Oh,
But
look.
this is the one. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but
Holy fuck.
yeah, the first sentence here. If communist candidate Zohran Mamdani wins the election for mayor of New York City, it is highly unlikely that I will be contributing federal funds other than the very minimum as required to my beloved first home because of the fact that as a communist, this once great city has zero chance of success. Jesus Christ, how long is this sentence, bro? I'm sorry, but Donald Trump is notorious for inserting random commas and making sentences 3-4 times longer than they have to be. I'm not reading all that. Yeah, like, dude, I'm not reading all that.
Actually, you know what?
That's funny as shit.
Breen is right. That's just Stephen Miller.
You're probably right. That guy's a fucking psychopath, man.
That guy scares me. He is a.
We were
weaselly
joking
little
yesterday because I think you and me might have mentioned this. Like his wife said that he eats mayonnaise, like not like mayonnaise on a sandwich. Like he made a turkey sandwich. Like this motherfucker gets a spoonful of mayonnaise, just gets into that jar and starts going
That's
for it, man.
psychopath shit.
Yes, you have. Thank you. You have to be out of your fucking mind to be like, I want a snack. Where's there out of mayo, honey?
I'm gonna tell you right now. I've done
Jesus.
something. I've done something I'm ashamed of. Okay.
That's funny.
So there are plenty of people out there that occasionally eat the spoonful of peanut butter. Right. That's
I
not
do that.
too unreasonable.
Right.
I've done something that's a little gluttonous. It's because I love peanut butter and jelly so much. I have eaten spoonfuls of jelly. I have. I've done it. It's usually under the influence of one or other things, but I've done it.
Gardening.
There has never been a point, and I love mayonnaise. I really do enjoy mayonnaise. I'm weird. I'm white. I get it.
Right.
I've never been driven to think I am craving a spoonful of oil
mayonnaise.
and eggs. I just have never.
To me, dude, that's a red flag right there. That is straight psychopath behavior, dude.
That's
If
a
you
beige
eat
flag.
Right. If you just eat straight up mayonnaise, dude, that's just.
Do you think like she just finds him? He's like butt naked. His little midget
Covered
butt
in
naked in
mayonnaise.
the middle of the night, like 2 in the morning,
rubbing
and he's
himself.
just standing in front of the fridge, like
In his underwear, fucking tighty whities eating mayonnaise, dude. That's hilarious.
he's got nothing but the armband on, and he's eating mayonnaise.
She walks in and he's like smothering himself in it. And it's just this conversation went off the rails. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. Actually, before we talk about Mamdani, I want to talk about Sliwa a little bit too. But let's talk about Prop 50 because that's got Donald Trump sent over the fucking edge too.
Yep.
Which, for those of you who don't know, Prop 50 is the redistricting, Gavin Newsom's response to the gerrymandering efforts for Republicans. So, yeah. And that is on the ballot, apparently, right now, if I'm not
So
mistaken,
basically,
right?
the whole point of this is the Republicans were like, you know what? We're going to openly gerrymander a state outside of a time frame that it's usually done, so that makes it gerrymandering. And California was like, all right, but we'll do the same thing, but the right way by having the people vote on it.
I know.
And if the people vote to redistrict, then we'll do it.
I'm crying. That's got Donald Trump over the edge. Of course, he posted this. Of course, California's redistricting is unconstitutional.
Unconstitutional as they vote on a ballot for it.
Right, and it's a giant scam, and the entire particular voting itself is rigged. All mail-in ballots where the Republicans in that state are shut out is a very serious legal and criminal review, under serious criminal review. Shut up. Shut up. Nobody's listening anymore, man. Shut up, Grandpa. That's the thing about Donald Trump's threats. He makes so many threats, it's hard to know which ones to take serious. It's like MAGA in my comments. They make so many threats, it's honestly hard to take. It's like, which ones do you take serious and which ones are you just like, yeah, whatever. That's kind of like what Donald Trump does. He just makes so many stupid-ass threats that you just don't know which ones to take serious. But obviously he is serious about certain things because he's literally withholding food money and blaming the Democrats, using our food money as a political tool to try and get Democrats to do this. Is like mob tactics, you know what I mean? holding something hostage until you get your way, or just trying to strong arm your way through this. It just sucks. It just sucks the way things.
Oh, here's a
are right
perfect one. California's a scam, but Texas isn't.
Right, exactly.
I mean, you're not gonna use logic on this because there is no logic in propaganda. I mean, there's logic to the process of propaganda, but there's no logic in just spewing nonsense that you want people to believe. Texas did it in a way that was fucked up. California is like I said, California is like, well, that was fucked up. We're going to do it the right way, and is asking its people to vote on it. It's not that complicated.
Right. Texas
I think
not.
people forget. And, the thing about the Republican Party as it stands today is they've lost all pretense of the fact that they are representing the people. They're like, they'll say we're representing our constituents and all blah, 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 lip service. But in reality, their actions and their words are letting you know that they're just doing what's in their best interest to keep themselves in power. That's it.
That's all it is, man. That's all these corporate politicians want. So I'm actually really excited about Mamdani. Before we talk about him, though, I want to talk about Sliwa, because this new video, resurfaced video of him saying some pretty anti-Semitic stuff. Yes, that is him. Looking like one of the gangs out of that one movie. What the hell is the name
Warriors.
The Warriors. They literally look like one of the gangs.
Wait,
from
look
the
at this
Warriors.
one. Look at this one. That picture on the bottom right is about to be the fucking fire album of the year.
You know what's hilarious is those pictures are probably, 30, 40 years old? That looks like the 80s to me.
It's 80s, early 80s, 70s.
This dude is still wearing the goddamn beret everywhere he goes. Everywhere he goes. And he's part of a group called the Guardian Angels, founded in 1979, and they patrol the streets wearing matching red jackets. I shit you not, like straight out of Grease or whatever fucking movie is. Right, they have uniforms. They're like a what was that movie? Neighborhood Watch, where they all had the matching jackets with the tiger on it. That's what it's like, man. But anyway, he apparently says some pretty anti-Semitic things that a lot of people took notice. And the fucked up part is this guy still beat Mayor Eric Adams, bro. That's crazy.
You know what's really funny though?
I've never seen an incumbent get slaughtered like that.
You know what's really funny? Sliwa, if I'm right, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. It was Sliwa versus Adams the last mayoral election. And Adams won. So now he beat him.
Damn,
I believe
that's crazy.
So.
I think you're right. I think you're right, because he's been trying to be a politician for a really long time. So this video's. Let me remove this. Add this back in.
Say that. Well, Hashem forbid you say that. I talk about that all the time. You can't allow for that. We're all paying for that. We're getting ripped off. We're not talking about poor and impoverished, disabled people who need help. We're talking about able-bodied men who study Torah and Talmud all day, and we subsidize them, and then all they do is they make babies, like there's no tomorrow. And who's subsidizing that? We are. So are we the schmucks and putzes? Yes. Yes.
Wait, who is he?
We don't control the voting.
He's talking about Jewish people. He's talking about we as Americans have to subsidize Jewish people. All they do is sit at home. Gotcha. He basically saying the same rhetoric that like Donald Trump says about immigrants and people of color, but he's saying that about the Jewish community.
Apparatus, they will control us. And many people would say, well, what's wrong with that? That's the American way. You get to make the decision.
He looks like a guy that would sell you a watch. Hey, buddy. I got something for you. I got something for you.
Here. Also, I got to say, I apologize for his accent. We do generally sound like that. Yes.
Yeah, it is what it is. I love New York City. I'm actually glad to see it get a mayor it deserves.
Dude, the next time we go to a protest in New York City, he will be the mayor.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, just a reminder, me and Mike, at least, James is trying to come down, but he's all the way out in the West Coast in LA, so that's kind of a tall ask, big ask from him. So, but definitely Mike and I are confirmed going to Washington, D.C. together on the 22nd. We're actually going to do a live stream from the hotel on the 21st. We're going to live stream on the 22nd on both Facebook, Instagram, and well, actually not both, all of our platforms. You'll probably be on Instagram. I'll be on Facebook and YouTube. So and Dropkick Murphys are going to be playing. So we're going to have a fantastic broadcast for you guys. I'm trying to get in touch with some people on the ground in DC that are organizing the event to try and get a good spot for us. But
maybe press passes again.
That would be nice. But all the people that were involved in the Unite for Veterans rally that I know are not involved in this one. So I'm trying to get a hold of Jolly and see if he can find anybody down there that'll help us out. So anyway, we're gonna have a lot of fun. Mike's gonna meet everybody at the Veterans Sit-In. I'm gonna take Mike down to where the Heritage Foundation is. I'm gonna try and piss on it. Probably go to the White House. Yeah, I'd love to piss on it.
The Sons of Liberty are gonna be there. That's right, Brina. I forgot about that.
Are they? I gotta reach out to them.
I saw that.
Then.
Yeah, reach out to them.
That'd be great. All right, so let's play. So again, we're gonna be there. We're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna bring you tons of content, and we're gonna try and do a couple live streams while we're down there. Yeah, definitely one from the hotel. It's probably gonna be more of us just chilling, talking to you guys, hanging out. Kind of strategizing for the next day, and the next day we'll be on location at the National Mall in DC. So we're gonna have a blast. It's gonna be a lot of fun. There should be tons of people there. All right. So anyway, moving on. Let's talk about Mamdani for a little bit here, because he's been a strong candidate from day one, and I think you and me have both kind of liked him from day one. Yeah. Maybe at first I thought he was saying some pretty fantastical stuff like $40 minimum wage and all that stuff. That sounds crazy, but at the same time, like, it's
every
time
candidate
for
has
Americans.
Some crazy shit and some practical shit. Literally every candidate.
But the more I listen to him, the more I realize, like, he just gets it. Like, he gets it. You could tell this guy did not grow up rich. You can tell this guy was not wealthy growing up just by the way he's acting and how he genuinely gives a shit about people. Like, this guy marched in a pride parade holding a trans flag. Like, this guy actually gives a shit about all people.
Well, do you know what he was doing all weekend? He was going to, like, gay clubs and going to, like, old people centers, and he was, like, spending time with different communities in the city and showing that he is a part of them. He wants to be their mayor.
Yeah, and they're trying to paint him as some kind of Islamic terrorist, extremist, communist, Marxist, whatever term Donald Trump has in his head. But here's a video that I liked of Mamdani. This is one of the ones you sent me where he's talking to Brian Tyler Cohen, which is a really good interview.
Watched as House Republicans, led by Mike Johnson, have used you as the new boogeyman of the left. Mike Johnson's been speaking about you nearly every single day at his morning meeting, where he's trying to justify using food assistance and health care as a cudgel against the American people in the shutdown. House Republicans' campaign arm also issued a memo this week vowing to make you synonymous with the Democratic Party nationwide. Quote, "This isn't about one race in New York. It's a national story of a party bending the knee to socialism and the far left." And so what's your response to Republicans, and Mike Johnson in particular, basically using you as their new villain?
Look, if I was Mike Johnson and I was trying to distract from the fact that I was looking to throw 4 million Americans off their health care and more than 1 million New Yorkers off of their SNAP benefits, then I too would be looking for anything else that I could speak about. And what we've shown in this city is, unlike Donald Trump and the Republican Party, we don't just speak about the affordability crisis. We're actually going to deliver a lower cost of living for New Yorkers. And I'm excited for the Republican Party to use the examples that we will bring in governing this city as an example of what the Democratic Party can do, because what those examples will show is that we can take the most expensive city in the United States of America and make it affordable.
Dude.
What if there's any lesson that the Democratic Party needs to take from his win, is learn how to message like this guy. This guy stays on point. I have watched so many interviews with him, or just people going by him in the street throwing questions at him, and everyone's trying to bait him to get him to go and give the soundbite that they're looking for, this or that. He just stays on message, and he knows how to deliver. He doesn't. You have to have a talent for this, okay? So when I say he's got to teach these people how to do this, most of them are not capable of it. This is the same type of political finesse you saw with Obama, where he was just capable of speaking like a human fucking being. And if Zoran can do anything, he stays calm, he stays on message, and he's, through his language, you can tell he gets it. The way he just speaks. There is a way to tell if someone is full of shit or not. You just look at them in the face and listen to what they're saying.
Right. Yeah, watch their actions too. Like this is why I could never be a politician, because I would be in Congress like flipping the fuck out. You know what I mean? Cause y'all see me on the show. This is why I can't be a politician. It's also why I don't debate MAGAs, because I would flip the fuck out. And I don't want to waste my time. Like I don't know how people like they really tried to press him on the whole not going to Israel as his first trip, because that was
this is the best answer.
Yeah, this was one of the things that won me over. This because they asked all the Democratic mayor candidates, "Where are you going to go if you win? Where's your first trip going to be?" And every one of them was like, "We're going to the Holy Land. We're going to Israel."
Eric Adams did it. Bill de Blasio did it. Why are mayors of American cities going to bend the knee?
Thank you. Why?
There's one reason. There's only one reason. It's because they have political aspirations and they know that you have to be in the pocket of AIPAC to succeed if you're a Republican or a Democrat. Mamdani challenges that.
He does, which is good. It's what we need. And that's why it is freaking out both Republicans and Democrats alike, because both Republicans and Democrats alike are in the pocket of AIPAC. Facts. Even Kamala Harris. That's why I don't want her to run next time. $9 million, over $9 million from, and I put it in perspective, Donald Trump has taken over $200 million from AIPAC. But still, at the same time, I don't want a candidate that's taking $1
or $2 or $2.
Right. It doesn't matter to me. I don't want foreign influence. Like, I don't want our politicians thinking about what's best for another country over their own country. I'm tired of that shit. Like, they preached America first, America first. Like, Donald Trump's administration is quite literally America last. They take care of Israel. They take care of Argentina while simultaneously cutting SNAP benefits and medical assistance for millions of Americans. It's truly unbelievable how we haven't just crashed out as a population. Like, just haven't raged out how we've been treated overall. So, all right, let me go back to Mamdani, and I have a couple Donald Trump videos. So this is Mamdani talking some good shit about Cuomo, saying how he's gone from Donald Trump's puppet to his parrot. I thought that was pretty good.
We knew in the primary that Andrew Cuomo was being funded by the same billionaire donors that gave us Donald Trump's second term. I did not, however, anticipate Andrew Cuomo going from being Donald Trump's puppet to being so nakedly his parrot. What he has said in these last few days, these are words that should shock the conscience of New Yorkers. He has said that...
I like him.
He's very good at getting to a point, like he helps you along the way and is telling a story. He's very good at a narrative. Maybe that's what I should have started with saying. He's very good at getting you to follow his line of reasoning. He's just good at it.
I am looking at the numbers real quick, and the one thing I've noticed is just in New Jersey, the Democratic winner outperformed Kamala Harris by 10 points.
Jesus.
And the Republican candidate underperformed Donald Trump by almost 7.5 points. That's big. If Democrats are now performing even better after Donald Trump took the oath a second time around.
That just means the worse things get because they're not getting better under Trump. The midterms are going to be a fucking massacre. If they exist.
God, yeah. If they happen, they're going to be an absolute nightmare for Republicans. So, all right, but let me go ahead and show you some videos of just Donald Trump. Like, here he is talking about not funding New York City, but talking about why we need to be funding Argentina.
Now, hold on a minute. That not funding New York City, by the way, is something he said as a retaliation for if New York elected Mamdani. So now you have a president threatening a city with federal money to vote the way he wants them to vote. Tell me how that's not illegal.
Right, that is what we call election interference, right? But New Yorkers stood up and stood on business, gave them the big old middle finger, and were like, "We don't give a shit. We're still voting for the guy, no matter how many threats you make."
You know why? Because
bloated orange piece of shit.
The city, New York State fell in love with Donald Trump, but New York City remembers what a scumbag he is. New York City has always hated Donald Trump.
That's true. That is true. I mean, he's really done nothing for New York City. Really, I mean,
He
he's caused no
slapped his
problems.
name on shoddy buildings and walked around like he owned the place.
Dude,
That's
he
all
still
ever did.
owes the state of New York $500 million for fraud.
Yep, he's never going to pay that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, his entire fortune is built on lies and bullshit. So, all right. But anyway, here's him comparing somehow New York doesn't need the money, but Argentina does. I don't get it.
So it comes through the White House. The funding for New York and for every place comes through the White House. And I'm very generous. And I was always very generous with New York, even when you had opposition there, but I was always very generous. But I wouldn't be generous to a communist.
What does that mean,
guy
always
that's
very
gonna take the
generous?
money
He's
and
never
throw it
given
out the
anything to
window,
New
because
York.
you're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars. And we're not going to let somebody get into office and squander taxpayer money from this country.
Like you're doing right now?
So it's
you
a little
mean?
bit like that with, if you take a look at Argentina, if the president doesn't win, I know the person that he'd be running against, I believe, probably, we probably have the person. The person is extremely far left and a philosophy that got Argentina into this problem in the first place. So we would not be generous with Argentina if that happened. If he loses, we are not going to be generous with Argentina.
Why are
Jesus,
we being?
Sheldon, that it took me a minute.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Why are we on?
It
Why
took
are
me a
we?
minute, that reference.
Why are we funding Argentina? Period.
Well, you
know
know,
what I'm
it's
saying?
funny you say that. He specifically included Argentina in the phrase of funding. You shouldn't use the word funding when you talk about sending aid to someone else, because that kind of obfuscates the meaning of the aid. Why are we funding them?
Like, it's crazy. Like, think about it. What does Israel and Argentina do for us? Nothing. Nothing. If anything, they cause us problems. Like Argentina, we gave them $20 billion, and then they went behind our back and sold all their soybeans to China, so China wouldn't buy soybeans from American farmers. Then we send them more money, and then they turn around, and Argentina is going to sell us diseased beef, riddled with foot and mouth disease.
Wait, and we know that the FDA is basically, does it even do anything anymore with RFK Jr. and everyone else involved in our government?
No, they're probably injecting ivermectin into all the beef at this point. Who the fuck knows what these people running the show do?
You know what the funny part is? That would be vaccinating the beef.
That would be vaccinating the beef. But no, I'm so sick of Argentina is where the most. No, that is true. That is true. South America is where a lot of them went to. Argentina was probably the number one spot for Nazis to escape to in World War II. We never defeated the Nazis. I know that everybody likes to think that we did, but we just ended up importing them into the United States. Nazism is based off of Jim Crow. Thanks to Mike, I now know that factoid. But yeah, Jim Crow, that's what the Nazis based their entire regime on, was the Jim Crow law. So technically, America is the birthplace of Nazism. Think about it. It started here. The Nazis took our shitty society and made it into our own shitty society. So it never left. We never defeated it. It's always been here.
Then after we were like, no, you're doing fascism wrong, then the fascists fled and went to South Africa, where they tried to do it again with apartheid.
Right.
And now we're back to the U.S. again, so...
Yeah, it always seems to come back here for some reason. Maybe this time we'll properly punish people that are involved in all of this, because I still think that's why our country is in the problem, having the problems today that we have. Is we never punished the people from the Civil War.
Nope.
We never punished people for slavery. We never punished people for being actual Nazis in America, because there was a huge pro-Nazi movement before World War II. We've shown the videos from Madison Square Garden where there was a massive pro-Nazi rally on United States soil.
That still haunts me. Every time we watch that video, it makes me feel
horrifying
in a way that I never thought I could feel it for. to see true Nazism, like the actual brand of Nazism in this country, makes me fucking angry. So when I see those scumbag white supremacists marching throughout this country wearing the swastika,
yeah,
I cannot understand how we have failed to the point where that's even allowed. And I understand free speech, but guess what? Hate speech isn't free speech.
I agree.
Fuck Nazis.
I agree. So yeah, that's where we're at as a society. So the public sentiment has definitely shifted away from Donald Trump's way of doing things. Democratic candidates are outperforming Kamala Harris from like this time last year, which is a good sign. Republican candidates are far underperforming Donald Trump in the last election. So that is showing us a trend that things are going in the right direction.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to get ugly.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to, right. This is going to cause a serious antibody reaction from the Trump administration. They're going to see all these Democrats winning and Republicans getting their asses handed to them. And this is going to cause a massive meltdown within the Trump administration. They're going to lash out and do something stupid. And they're already defying court orders. So I wish people would stop saying, well, the court said. They don't care. They don't care what the court says.
Who's going to stop it? You see, what people don't understand is that's what the design of the design of our government was, the genius of it, of having a checks and balance system so that one person couldn't even threaten the rest of the government to do what he wanted, let alone have absolute power. But no, that's gone now because we have Mike Johnson orchestrating a coup and shutting down the government so Donald Trump can build ballrooms and do whatever the fuck he wants.
Right. So it looks like good news out of New Jersey, Virginia, and New York City. We will not know anything for a while. Yeah, about Prop 50 in California.
50, yeah.
So we will see. But now the numbers, somebody asked me on Instagram where the numbers in. Yeah, so far the numbers have been called in 3 states, I think.
Yeah, we got Virginia, New Jersey, and New York. Those 3 races were there were some really big ones. One that I wasn't following was Pennsylvania had a lot of Supreme Court shit going on about keeping a Democratic majority in the Supreme Court. So I don't know what happened there. And then obviously Prop 50 is a big one.
Yeah, so we're moving in the right direction, folks. But like Mike said, it is definitely going to get ugly before it gets better. So, but anyway, again, we will be back on later on this week, either Friday or Saturday. And I also have some other plans. I got to talk to this video editing company I keep forgetting to get in touch with about doing some work for us. And we are also going to be, like I said, we're going to be in Washington, D.C. in just 17 days.
Oh, wow.
We do have a small GoFundMe set up for that. So if you guys want to donate to help us cover any of the travel costs, I want to be covering Mike's hotel and food and all that stuff. Show my appreciation for all his commitment and everything that he's done for the show. So I want us to have a good time and just enjoy ourselves and just be there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So a lot of good things are coming up, guys. A lot of good things. So hang on to your butts. It's going to be a long ride. It's going to be a bumpy ride, but I think we'll get through it somehow. So other than that, have a good rest of your night. Love you all, and we will talk to you here in a couple days.